Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream, another Let's Play here on the Critical Pixels channel. And since the Libertadores final was just yesterday, I thought, why don't we try to win the Libertadores on PES 2013? So let's try to do just that. Now, since a huge portion of my audience is North American, let me just explain the Libertadores real quick. It's essentially the Champions League, if you know what it is, for South America. So basically, we have all the different teams on the continent. They play their national leagues, and the best teams of each league will make it to the Libertadores, and they'll play essentially in what it is a World Cup format. So in the past, we used to have a two-leg final, but now it's pretty much what a World Cup is. So they classify on the group stage, they play a knockout phase, and then they make it to the final, and it's a one match only, and whoever wins that match is the champion. The final was just yesterday, and my beloved Flamengo won it. So I thought it was a great moment to play it on PES 13, which is considered by many to be the best PES, the best Pro Evolution Soccer game on the 7th gen. I actually think it is as well. And it was right about the moment when PES started to lose space to FIFA. I think it was the last PES that I really played, and from that point on, I started to move more and more into FIFA. But it's a good game, so let's try to win it. We'll go for competition. We'll start a new one. And by the way, I'm playing straight from a PS triple. So if you think the sharpness isn't as good, if you think the loading times are great, or sorry, are longer, that's why it's taking that long to load, or that's why the resolution isn't so sharp. Just one player. Now, ordinarily, I would play with Flamengo since it's the team that I support, but they just won it yesterday, so let's try a different one. Now, in 2013, Neymar was in Santos just as he is now, but he was on his trajectory to go to Europe and to become the player that he's well known for, without all the injuries and without all the, well, with some of the partying that he's been known for, but at least he was still very much a prodigy. So I think it's a good team for us to play, and they had just won it, if I'm not mistaken, on 2012. So let's play with them. Now, yeah, we have to make it to the Libertadores first, playing the playoffs. I'm gonna start with regular, and if because it's been a long time since I played PES, if it's too easy, I'm gonna increase it to professional. But let's try regular first. I'm gonna put injuries on. I'm gonna put accumulated fatigue as well. So in 5 minutes, because I think 10 minutes will be a bit boring unless we increase the difficulty. But let's try it. The game will be saved automatically from now on. Please select the save data you wish to use. And of course, since it's a brand new competition, we'll start with a brand new save data. Now, if the audio game is too loud, please tell me. If the mic audio is too low, please tell me as well. But it should be fine. And of course, we have the Libertadores intro, which was quite different than what it is today. I mean, it's more than a decade since this game was released in, I believe, late 2012 or early 2013. So our first match is against Arsenal FC, not the London Arsenal FC, but the South American one. I think they have some licensed clubs. I think every Brazilian club in this particular year is licensed. But as usual, when it comes to a Pro Evolution Soccer game, there are a lot of unlicensed clubs, which would become an issue going forward. Now, not to be arrogant, but I think we can just try with the tactics we have set up for us as default. And without further ado, let's go straight into our game. We're playing at Estádio Amazonas. Again, they don't have a lot of licenses, so they have to use creative names. Let's call it that way. But I always wanted to be part of the team that would come up with those interesting names because they had, especially in the past, one that I always makes me laugh is that they used to call Roberto Carlos, the famous left back, as Roberto Larcos in old Pro Evolution Soccer games. But as time went on, they started to become a bit more cautious with how they use their names. I think I'm gonna lower the volume of the game a little bit because it might still a bit too loud. Okay, minus 39. I'm gonna skip the intro as well. Let's just go right into the game because I want to score some goals. Now it's been a while since I've played Pro Evolution Soccer 13, so give me a minute to adapt myself. Also, I've been playing FIFA more lately, which yeah, I'm already starting with the excuses, but the complaining will come out soon. Don't worry. I don't remember if it's a two-leg game, so we will have the second one to play as well, or if it's just you either win or you lose. And here we have Neymar in his rising phase, quite different than what he is now, but he just scored the goal on Thursday, I believe. On Friday, sorry. So he still has his moments, but I don't think he should make it to the World Cup, if you're curious about it. And it's probably regular, it's probably too easy. So we'll have to change that after this game. Not gonna watch the replays right now. It's too early for that. But the seventh gen was pretty interesting to football games because in the sixth gen, I pretty much only played Winning 11, which was Pro Evolution Soccer before they changed its name. And I believe in Europe it was called Pro Evolution Soccer. Uh, Tried FIFA a few times, but just didn't really like it. They had more licenses, but that wasn't an issue in the sixth gen because piracy was rampant. So we had mods that would add all the needed licenses, names, leagues, and different clubs that the official version lacked. So I was mostly like 90% a FIFA player. But eventually, as time went on, let's try another goal here, and indeed it was. But as time went on the seventh gen, Pro Evolution Soccer still evolved, especially those first few games, past 2010, past 2011, even past 6, which I recently played on the Xbox 360, and of course past 13 was pretty nice. But as the online component was becoming more and more important, because in the past local play used to be everything, but in the seventh gen the online part of it was more and more crucial to a game. FIFA started to get more recognition, and especially once their FIFA Ultimate Team mode just went on a roll, and I got hooked on Ultimate Team right around FIFA 14, I believe, and from that point on I only played FIFA pretty much until the last generation, where the game just started to get worse and worse, and lately they even changed its name to EAFC. And I was always hoping that PES would make a comeback, but they, Konami themselves would change its name to eFootball to try to focus on taking the Ultimate Team crowd. But if I want to play Ultimate Team, I would just play FIFA, not a Wish version or a Temu version of it. And on the eighth gen, they never managed to get that spark of success back. I mean, PES 17 is really great. PES 2020 is pretty interesting to play as well, but they had just lost the online battle. I mean, just like the Xbox One lost the the eighth generation early on, they lost the online battle, which at that time was everything. It was a make it or break it situation. I still think in the eighth generation they had a much more enjoying gameplay. It was a better game to play. It just felt better, and especially at local play, it still rules. But everybody wanted to play Ultimate Team, and to play Ultimate Team, you had to play FIFA. So they won. And it was also sad because PES had quite interesting offline modes. They had mostly, of course, Master League. But as they began this move to online, Master League was just pushed to the corner more and more. And nowadays, they don't have any offline modes on their eFootball game, which is something that the older fans always ask for, but they just ignore it because what makes money nowadays is selling coins, and you can only sell coins if you have an online mode, which is a sad state of affairs of modern gaming. I don't think it was a foul, but we're doing great here. We'll have to increase the difficulty, but let's focus on getting that spot on the group stage first. Guns was also a very promising player back then. I mean, some people used to think that he would be a bigger success than Neymar. And I thought he would be a huge success as well. But, injuries, intensity, whatever it was, he never quite made the success people expected him to do. He had a comeback in the past few years here in Fluminense, even winning the Libertadores, but still, he never reached the heights, even close to it, that Neymar would, particularly in his Barcelona days. But at that time, it really seemed like he was destined for a great future. Some people even compared him to Zidane, which would prove not to be a very nice comparison in any shape or form. But at least here he was a great player, even though I just lost the ball with him. I have an offensive foul, which I don't think it was. See, the referee is already trying to give the home team an advantage, but will survive that. Also, there was no VAR in that time, which seems like ancient times in football, but it was just a while back. But the gameplay still is pretty enjoying. I mean, you can boot this up at any time and just play a few games, and there isn't a huge learning curve like I feel with every FIFA game where they tweak something and there's something that you can exploit, especially if you play online. And if you play online, you have to exploit what everyone is exploiting. Otherwise, you just lose game after game after game, especially as they're based on online divisions. So it quickly becomes quite boring. And eventually, they release patches to try to fix it. But yeah, if you watch a game from like top three divisions in Ultimate Team, it's just people trying to exploit whatever thing they can exploit to win those games. Whether it's having fast pace attackers, whether it's giving um, like an air pass, a lob pass, or anything like that, but they'll just exploit it over and over and over, which is not fun to do, which is not fun to play. And we won it 2-0. And the man of the match was Ganso. See, he really was a prodigy, even in pass. And yes, we have to play the second leg as well. Hello, Isabel Lima. And we've earned a trophy, winning your first game on Libertadores. Let's wait for it to save the data, and let's play the second leg. Then let's increase the difficulty straight away. And I have to turn autosave on as well. General settings, let's increase it to professional. Let's see how it will change things. Might have to focus a little bit more, but we'll see. Yes, I did watch the game yesterday, and Flamengo won it, becoming the first Brazilian team to won 4 Libertadores, which was pretty interesting to see, and especially against Palmeiras as well, which they had lost in 2022, I think, and they managed to win it. So I was celebrating it yesterday, and I am celebrating it today in a certain sense by playing Libertadores again. And Flamengo is also the first South American team to get its spot on the next Club World Cup, which will happen, I think, in 2029. The first one happened this year. That was a clear foul, not called. Yeah, you can sense the difficulty increase straight away, which I think is one of the issues with this game. The difficulty seems pretty unbalanced, and I scored an own goal in the sense that in one difficulty that's too easy, and as soon as you change it, it seems like you increased it 3 times, not just one. Look at my beautiful own goal, but we'll get it back. We still have plenty of time, and they still need another goal. I also think that in 2013 there was the home goal and away goal system, meaning that if they won, let's say 4-2, they would classify, even though the score was a draw, because they scored more goals away from home. But nowadays, it doesn't exist anymore on Libertadores. I think it doesn't exist anymore on Champions League as well. But here, I'm not really sure. But yeah, you can see the difficulty increase straight away. They're more precise at passing. They're more precise at positioning. They should be playing more offensive either way because they lost the first game, so they have to make it. Let's try and intercept it. Yes, that's a great way to celebrate. Come on, let's... And if I'm not mistaken, most of that team is either retired or on the verge of retiring. Yeah, they have a double man mark on Neymar, perhaps even a triple. But we could use that to our advantage. Let's control the ball here. Perhaps a cross, but at least we got a corner kick. I don't think we have a particularly tall team, so crosses aren't the smartest choice. But at least we've managed to get a finish, even though it wasn't on goal. Okay, let's move on. Nope. it's the end of the first half. We have to bring our A game to the second half. But I just want the spot on the group stage. So even if we lose 1-0, that's still enough for us to make it to the group stage. But let's begin the second half. Let's make it.
So the second half starts and they're still very much chasing the game.
Come on, Neymar. No, not this time.
Forward it goes.
Durval, I think he's retired.
Intercepted at the last.
I shouldn't be passing here. That's too risky.
Got it.
But yeah, they sure have a double man marking on him. Let's work it through here.
Slid into space on the flank.
Come on.
And he's got quite
And almost. But we're getting closer at least. Let's make them feel the pressure. Now, I was thinking about making a retrospective on Pro Evolution Soccer and Winning 11 and International Superstar Soccer and eFootball, the many names they had throughout the year, throughout the 30-year run they had, because this year marked the 30th anniversary. But I'm still not sure because most of my audience is probably not interested in watching a retrospective on a football game or a soccer game for that matter. But we'll see.
Now Edu Dracena. Aruka. Schwan.
Okay, let's
Aruka.
build this one.
Plays this forward. Now Ganso.
Come on.
This is very pleasing on the eye. Broken free on the wing.
Can't find any spaces.
And a shot here.
And we have a goal.
And the chance accepted with some aplomb.
So now they need to score two, but if they do score two, they will classify because of the away goal rule. But hopefully that won't happen.
They now lead by 2.
Let's focus. Oh, and I should probably make some changes. Yeah, I haven't. And of course my yeah, okay, I can change him here and I could probably put him here. Not ideal, but I forgot to organize my substitutes because I wasn't thinking about the substitutions, which is also a part that you have to think about. There is some strategy to this game. It's not just playing the game all the time. Especially since we have accumulated fatigue. Because we might lose some players in important matches because they're too tired. No luck with the crosses. Let's hold it a bit more. We're almost done. And that wasn't a foul. That wasn't a foul. Okay, it's over. Come on, referee. And we made it to the group stage. What what a shocker!
Their outstanding display
They're
today.
they're celebrating like they
Again, in
won
such a
something.
convincing manner, and the fans will be absolutely delighted with the
Now, but let's move to the group stage and let's finally take some care of our
co-commentator Jim Beglin.
strategy. Because now things got serious. We have to be in the top two, and Flamengo classified as well, which is the biggest club in the world, actually, not just South America. Let's save the progress. I remember when I didn't. I remember when I first got a PlayStation 2, I didn't have a memory card. So whenever I played uh, at that time, whenever I played a competition, I actually couldn't turn off the console. I had to play it until the competition was over. So I would let the console on all day as I didn't have a memory card. And one day my mom saw the console turned on and thought I had just forgotten about it. And she turned the console off. And I lost all the progress I had made in, I believe, a full day. And I was fuming because I had just made it to the group stage. I think it was a Master League. And all of a sudden I lost all my progress because she turned the console off thinking I had forgot to turn it off, but I didn't. I just couldn't save it because I didn't have a memory card at that time. Let's count the reserves. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, I have one more. I think I'll put two forwards. Yeah. Okay. Might do some changes here, but yeah, let's let's make one change here and another one here so we can have that little that little blue bar behind the player below the player's stamina is the accumulated fatigue. So you have to manage your team in order to avoid, having players that are just completely tired right from the start of the game. You also have to think about which substitutions you make throughout the game. I think I'll change that right away. There is an option here which is pretty useful, and it's not leave manually. Yes, I want assisted settings. There is an option here which you can allow for auto substitutions. I just don't remember what it is. Let's see if it's choose manually. Coach mode? No. Tactical assistance. Oh, okay. I can let the game make substitutions for me automatically. So, for example, I can say, well, I want you to make late substitutions or early ones, or even very early ones, or I can let you be flexible. So, since we're still at the start of the competition and we don't have a lot of accumulated fatigue, I'll just allow them to be flexible. I don't want them to change anything else on that. So, I have my substitutes, and let's go for the game. Let's try a win on this first match straight away. So the way it works is that if we win, we get 3 points. If we draw, we get 1 point. And if we lose, we get nothing. And essentially, we have four teams on every group. And we have to make it to the knockout phase by being either first place or second place on the group. So every match matters, or at the very least, if you can get all the wins, you be first place. Also, if you're first place, you get the second place of another group. So basically, if you guarantee the first place on a group, you are likely to get a weaker team on the second phase. My God, look at how many sponsors they have. If you're first place, you're more likely to guarantee a weaker team on the knockout stage. So it's also important to be in first place because of that. And you also play the second leg game at home. So being first place matters for those reasons. So let's try an early win here, which hopefully will happen. We're playing against Zamora FC. Not a strong start so far, but it's too early. Ibson, he played for Flamengo for a while. Very good player. Underrated one, I'd say. Let's not overuse Neymar, but that's what I'll do probably. And yeah, he's a lefty, so trying to score from outside of the box with his right foot was not the smartest idea. I also think they would continue to have, if I'm not mistaken, of course, uh, licensed competitions. I believe until past 17 or 18, they still had Champions League. They have Champions League on this one, licensed, but eventually they would lose even that. And now EAFC and FIFA had all the licenses. You could use an option file if you don't have a modded system, which you would essentially download the images and update it. And I just made a mistake, and it will. Oops. Not this time. You can use an option file to update club names and kits and player names as well, but it would only work on PC or PlayStation consoles because Xbox wouldn't let you do the option file. So I never did it because I was mainly playing on Xbox. Thought it would be a goal. But just thinking isn't enough. But by the way, on this one, I don't have option files. I don't have any changes to the system. It's not a modded system either. So we're playing the base game as it is, as it was. Come on. And it's in. We have the first score of the match, first goal of the match. Let's try to bring those 3 points home so we can lose games because of the accumulated fatigue on the later stages. That's also another interesting part that the accumulated fatigue adds, because since you have to manage it, you have to pick some games to play with your second team. And those games will be tougher. You might lose those games, but that's what you have to do. Which is also why it's quite important to say guarantee the spot on the knockout stage as early as possible, because then we can use more and more substitutes in the later matches of the group stage. Come on. Second half should be over. First half should be over by now, but the referee doesn't want to help us, as usual, as expected. But right when I'm about to score the second goal, he ends the first half. Classic. I mean, we all knew that I was about to score the second goal. Let's check the game plan. Let's see if someone is too tired for the second half. I think I'll change him straight away. Not the ideal change because he also has some fatigue as well, but they'll have to do. Durval and Edu Dracena, they're the main players, but at least I'll give both of them some rest because they'll only play one half this time. Let's try to keep that score positive, or at least make it more relaxing so I don't have to stop sentences right in the middle because I'm trying to pay more attention. Not the best game Neymar's ever played, I have to say. And they're trying to build from the left. Ooh, that was a good try. And that was a poor start from me. I have to stop that habit of trying to build, trying to passing on my own box. Because if I lose the ball there, I'm just giving them pretty much an easy goal because they're already halfway through. Come on, that was a foul. That should be a yellow card as well. Okay. Good. They're turning violent. Okay, where can I pass? Perhaps a cross. Even though it's... Yeah, not really the best game. Almost. That would give us some freedom to change a few players right away, but sadly that didn't went in. And we have another substitution, and see, that one was made with the auto settings. We had 5 shots and Zamora had 0, so we should be winning by more, but sadly I'm really good at missing goals. Come on, we can still do it. Probably not this way. Come on. And we have the ball back. Let's just work it out. Yep. There wasn't a foul. And we have another substitution after an inexistent foul. Let's just kick it out. No time for taking any risks. And he'll send it straight into the box, but to no avail. Come on. Again, he'll do the same thing, which is smart actually, but fortunately didn't work. So we have our first win. And that was a start with, I don't even know if there's this expression, but it was a start with the right foot. Allan Kardec was the best player. I mean, he scored the goal after all. So yeah, we have a tough group. We have Boca Juniors and Fluminense. Not ideal. Let's see what Flamengo did in its first game, and they won. Will they win this time? Well, let's hope not, because we're playing with Santos, and we are the first one in the group. Which the draw in the other game was good for us, but we have a tough group. You have earned a new nickname, the Can Do. Not really sure what he means, to be honest. And our next match, the match day 2, is against Boca Juniors, but at least we'll play at home. And they had quite a great team. They still had Riquelme, which is a fantastic player. Probably not as respected in Europe as he should be. Let me just check if the autosave is on. But I think that'll be it for today. It's about midday here, so I might do another live stream later or perhaps tomorrow as we try to win the Libertadores. But we'll see. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's not ideally the best game to play if you have a considerable North American audience, but I quite like Pro Evolution Soccer, so it is what it is, and we're playing straight from a PS triple, so that makes it twice as interesting, I would say at least. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day. Watch my videos. Watch my videos. Don't forget about that important part. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Have a wonderful day. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. And I'll see you guys in the next video.